boys and girls, and all of God's children. Welcome to the Church School Neighborhood. I'm Sister Angie Spears, the excited Church School Superintendent. What a wonderful, wonderful lesson we have for you. As you know, we have begun our spring quarter, and the title of our quarter is Social Teachings of the Church. Today's lesson is titled Keeping Fit for the Sake of Others. And our lesson comes from Daniel chapter 1, verses 8 through 17, and 1 Timothy chapter 4, verses 7 and 8. This is a wonderful, wonderful lesson. In the lesson, when we begin with the story of Daniel, when we meet Daniel, he's a very young man. Daniel is from Judah, where the city is Jerusalem, and they've been captured by the Babylonians. Daniel is only 16 years old when this happens. And Daniel happens to be really good friends of the three Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So they're all friends, and they're all in this kingdom at the same time. Well, Daniel is chosen by God to be extra special. And when we meet Daniel, it tells us that he had a good appearance, meaning he looks healthy and he's wise and he has knowledge. And the king notices that also. And so he selects Daniel, and I believe the three Hebrew boys as well, to be a part of his special court. And he wants to train them, and he wants them to help him to understand the people that have been captured because they know the language. Well, early on, the king decides that he is going to really take care of them, right? And so he goes to Daniel. He says his officers go to Daniel with excellent foods, the same kinds of foods that the king would eat, so they're considered delicacies. But Daniel will not eat them. He says, I am not going to defile my body, and I am going to eat vegetables and water. And one of the men says, oh my goodness, if you don't take this food, I'm going to get in trouble because the king wants you to be healthy. And Daniel answers, he says, well, I'll tell you what, you give me 10 days, you judge me against the people that are going to eat that food and tell me who looks the best. And what happens? His diet is absolutely makes him fit. And Daniel is doing this. He says the king's food would be defiling. When Daniel puts things in his body, he considers his body, and we should, a temple of God. God's temple resides in us. God's temple is physical, and God's temple is spiritual. And so in many churches, especially during Lenten time, as we are preparing for Easter, a lot of times people will fast, and often they will use a Daniel's fast, usually for 2 weeks or for a month, and they will only eat fruit, vegetables, drink water, and really not have meats, not have coffee, not have sugars, and things like that. So that's how we have, and that's where the term the Daniel's fast comes from, in understanding the scripture, how serious Daniel, even as a young man, was about what he put in his body, even though the king was offering him what he thought was superior. It was not. Well, our very special words for today, it's 2 words, keeping fit, keeping fit. And it is Daisy and it is Patches, who have excellent, excellent examples to share with us, to show us that they do understand keeping fit. Why don't you go first, Daisy? Daisy says that very recently she was watching the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. Am I right, Daisy? And her favorite sport, the ice skaters. Daisy said she loved watching the ice skaters. And what did you say, Daisy? She was listening to the commentators. And one day she was listening to the commentator, and he was talking about how fit they were. And the commentator was saying, oh, they are so fit, you can just see it. And that's because they're careful about what they eat. You can't just eat anything and be able to have a body that performs like that. Well, Daisy listened to that. And what did you say, Daisy? Daisy went to her mom and she says, I want to eat more fruits and vegetables. I want less sugar. Daisy said that. And why? Daisy says, I'm a cheerleader and I think I can be a better cheerleader if I really watch what I put in my body. Very, very good, Daisy. Very, very good. Patches, what did you want to share? Well, Patches says that his grandfather at the church, every year they do a fast. They do the Daniel fast, the one I was telling you about, where they will fast with no meats. They have fruits and vegetables and nuts, and then water, right? And normally it'll be 2 weeks, sometimes up to a month. And the pastor always tells, especially the older members, make certain that you clear this with your doctor. What did you say, Patches? Grandpa said, whenever I'm on that Daniel fast and I go to my doctors, the doctor always will say, what have you been doing? You're doing great. Whatever that is, you need to keep doing it. Well, this year, what did Grandpa say? He told Grandma, he says, you know what? He says, I'm not able to do a lot of things for the church that I would like to do. I can't help with the food pantry the way I used to. I can't go with the pastor for the sick and shut in. I get so tired like I used to. And what did he say? He says, you know what? I do feel better with that Daniel fast. I think I'm going to keep watching what I eat. I'm going to eat a lot less of those meats. I'm going to eat a lot less sugar and butters and things I know I shouldn't have, because I want my body to be fit so I can do more things for God. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. And what did Grandma say? She said, that's a great idea. We all should. Very, very good. Thank you, Daisy, for your example that you shared. And thank you, Patches, for sharing that wonderful sharing of what your grandfather has said. Well, let's take a look at our memory verse. Our memory verse comes from 1 Timothy 4, verses 7 and 8, and we're going to cut it down just a little bit. Train yourself in godliness, for while physical training is one of value, godliness is valuable in every way. Let's say that again. Train yourself in godliness, for while physical training is one of value, godliness is valuable in every way. Do you think you can fill that in when some of the words are missing? Let's see. Train yourself in godliness, for while physical training is one of value, godliness is valuable in every way. I know you're going to have a wonderful church school lesson, and I know that you're going to have this great opportunity to learn more through your church school teacher. We trust that you will join us on next week. Next week, our lesson is titled, Helping Neighbors in Need. Our lesson is going to come from Deuteronomy chapter 15 and Matthew chapter 25. Until then, God bless you. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.